This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. It's your weekly blitz with Chris, keeping you in the game.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Coach Chris Cotton from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching here. I'm your auto repair shop coach. My goal is to help you, the independent auto repair shop owner, make your dreams come true. We do that by opening your mind to things you didn't know, and by getting you out from under your business and putting you in charge of your future and your family's future. My goal is for you to stop having a hobby and start having a business you're proud of and can take time away from. First and foremost, I want to thank AutoLeap. Without their continued support, this podcast would not be available free to you. If you're in the market for a great shop management system, please see the show notes for a demo link. As you get into today's episode, you may know someone in your network who could benefit from the topic. So please take time to share personally or through your social network. As always, if you have an idea for a show topic or want to talk, feel free to get with me, Chris at AutoFix-SOS.com. During today's episode, number 99, I'm going to be talking about tracking and measuring, different levels of both, and what to track. Let's get started. So first of all, I want you to realize that if we track things and measure things, we can fix things. And we can't measure what we don't track. So we have to have certain things in our business that we're looking at on a daily time frame, weekly time frame, monthly time frame, and all levels in between. And we have several different things that we need to track. I'm going to start with like a top to bottom approach on the things that we should be looking at and what order and how we should look at those. First thing that I want you to look at is I want you to think about daily. What do you look at daily in order to keep track of how you're doing? Your shop management system, your point of sale system is really what's that for? That is for your real-time look and make sure like at any time you can go over, click on it and look at it. Same thing with your service advisors. You want them to be able to see what your parts margin, what your labor margin is and things like that. So if you're able to have that and have it correct, that's the other thing is I want you to make sure that it matches your income statement as closely as possible. I know it's not going to get perfect and be in perfect detail, but that SMS or point of sale system should be within like 2 percentage points on your gross profit, especially if you're going to pay or have an incentive-based pay plan for your service advisors. I want them to be able to look in it for a week, for a month, and see where they're at. On a different note, I also want them to be able to look at every ticket individually, click the profitability analysis, look at it. What are we making on this ticket? Is it enough? And have a threshold for that. So again, daily basis, SMS, POS system, make sure it matches your income statement as closely as possible. So your real document that I want you to be able to look at, and I don't want you to be more than, gosh, I hate for clients to be more than a week out from their income statement. One of the things in our business, we had an up to the minute point of sale system. It also connected to our accounting software. So our income statement was up to the minute. I could look at it every day. It matched the POS exactly. And I know with some, we can't do that now, but I want you to be a couple days out. The one thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be a month out, 2 months out, 3 months out, a year out from your income statement, because we're just basically flying blind at that point. If we don't have that income statement, a couple days, maybe a week out, we really can't change anything if we don't know where that is, especially if you're not using a SMS system at all and you're using just QuickBooks, or if you're just using paper and pen. Things are not happening in real time and we're not able to stay on top of the changes we need to make for the business.
AutoLeap is a cloud-based all-in-one auto repair software that helps to keep complete track of your business, from scheduling appointments to managing technicians to generating invoices. Supercharge your growth with AutoLeap. Customers that fully adopt AutoLeap see the following benefits in their first year: 30% revenue growth, with top customers seeing over 100% growth, 75% decrease in no-shows, allowing you to service more customers, 3 times increase in positive Google reviews, leading to stronger online presence, 50% time saved on administrative tasks, driving increase in operational efficiency. Do it all with AutoLeap. Key features and functions include estimates, invoices, scheduling, Google reviews, inspections, communication, QuickBooks, reporting. Get in touch with AutoLeap to see how you can transform your auto repair shop. For a limited time, if you schedule a demo, sign up with AutoLeap and they will waive the $250 implementation fee.
Next thing I like to use, this kind of flips us back to the weekly, or it's in that weekly realm, is the scorecard for success. We want to track 5 different measurements in the business. I've got other podcasts that are specifically about scorecard for success, so I'm not going to go get into that. You can go back and look and listen to those. But I want to have a scorecard for success for each department of the shop. So I want to have a scorecard for success for the service advisors. I want to have a scorecard for success for the technicians. Just track 5 things. As far as service advisors go, it could be average estimate, average repair order, labor hours per repair order, gross profit, and car count. For technicians, it can be, you can do it as a group or you can even do it individually. So for them, you want to look at labor hours per repair order, average estimate or what they're writing up, DVI quality, productivity, and then what other thing in there. We don't want to keep more than 5 things, or we don't want to do more than 5 things for each department, because those people are working hard on those every day. Now that should be in line with your goals for what you're trying to drive for the business. Whatever goals you're trying to drive for the business, the scorecard for success should reflect on that. The other thing that we're going to do weekly is the productivity for technicians. We need to track it, measure it, and share it. Everybody in the shop needs to know what the goal is. Everybody in the shop needs to know what their individual piece of that is. And then we have to post it. Maybe not on Monday, because we don't know, kind of how Monday holds. If you want to report for last week or Friday on Monday, that's fine. I also want these to be posted in a place where the technicians can see them, but it doesn't have to be anybody else. Just the technicians, maybe the sales staff, but this is not something that should be posted out public. But I 100% want this posted so that each technicians can see everybody else's work. I want to encourage and foster competition between the technicians. Nobody wants to be the guy at the bottom, right, or the person at the bottom. You want to constantly be moving yourself up that list. If we have a person that's consistently in the bottom 2 and now they're in the top 2 and they knock somebody else down, typically that'll make somebody else be like, man, I got to pick up my game. And before you know it, the level of everybody in the shop's been raised. And what does that look like, Chris? So technician productivity, say we come in on Tuesday, it's somebody's job in the shop, either you as the owner or service advisor or the manager, general manager, should have each technician listed, how many hours they worked yesterday and how many hours they billed yesterday. So on Wednesday, you want to have the same thing, how many hours they worked yesterday, how many hours they billed out, and then a total from the 2 days. This also helps you keep off any surprises, because you don't want somebody to get to Friday and be like, oh, I didn't bill out anything for the week. How am I going to feed my kids? If you let them know every day how they're doing, then it erases all those questions. And 2, we're striving to be better. But again, if we track it and measure it, we can fix it. And finally, one of the things that I ask my clients all the time, how's the bank account feel? Because it's one thing to have a point of sale system. It's another thing to have an income statement. But typically what I find on most shop owners' income statements is that whatever's at the bottom doesn't reflect what's in their bank account. And I want to make sure that matches. On $1 million a year shop, I want to drop 25% net to the bottom line. That does not include what the shop owner pays themselves. And I want them to have like a modest pay, $60,000 to $90,000. Plus I want them to have access and control over $250,000 in net profit every year. There are some other things that you should be tracking and measuring. Those are the big ones for me. If you have something that I didn't mention and you want to share it or be like, hey, Chris, let's talk about it. Could be something I've never heard of before. That would be great. Okay. To close, this has been Coach Chris Cotton from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching, reminding you it never always gets worse, but sometimes it has to get worse to get better. Remember, don't stop working today because tomorrow needs you. Please feel free to reach out to me, Chris at AutoFixSOS.com, or give me a call at 940-400-1008. Have a great day, everybody, and remember to rise and grind.
You've been listening to the Weekly Blitz with Coach Chris Cotton on the AftermarketRadioNetwork.com. Follow Chris on your favorite podcast listening app. Let him know what you'd like him to cover. His email is in the show notes. Chris is all for advancing the aftermarket.